Hey friends, today I want to show you some of the free features inside of today's sponsor, Adobe Express. Now to show you some of these features, what we're going to do is actually create an Instagram post about this video, if you like. So a little bit meta in there, but going to see if this works. It's a new type of way of doing things. Anyway, we've got an old post here that I've just brought in. We've just created an Instagram post size. And what we're going to do is actually, I duplicate that page across just by clicking down at the bottom here. We click duplicate, and then I've then started playing about with what text to actually put onto this post that we're going to create. And I started thinking like, well, this is good. And I thought, I know, one of the free features that we want to show off is the social safe zones. So we're going to come up to File, and we're going to click on Social Safe Zones, and we're going to turn this on. And we can see now that the text is there all okay. You know, it kind of fits in, not a problem at all. DAX down here is starting to be cut off a little bit, and my kind of like logo and content creation kind of like area, that kind of like is cut off. So I then started playing about and putting that inside of this social safe zone, and we can see there now we've got a really nice hierarchical layout. We've got me kind of like showing on there, and I'm inside of those safe zones, and we've got the kind of like the 20+ free features. And if you are interested in what all the free features are, I'm going to link those all down in the description below. And while you're there, if you want to give me a thumbs up, like this video, maybe even subscribe, but you can consider that afterward. Now, it's not just on this that you can see the safe zones. We've got also Instagram posts and storybook covers. If we click and switch over to this one here, we can see if we switch on safe zones, we've got Instagram story. We can also choose Instagram reels, Facebook reels, TikToks, etc. And you can see the difference in that. So this is a reel that I started creating, which I'm using Clipmaker, which is also a free feature, but we'll come on to that one in a moment. But we can see here now that I can actually drag these captions up here and add those inside of that safe zone, so they're not down inside of the UI. So now we're coming on, and I've actually started kind of like creating that page for like talking about the safe zones, and I've kind of like added in a couple of screenshots here and a couple of like little demos of using those safe zones. So I'll kind of like probably like add an arrow and duplicate this arrow here from DAX, duplicate that and move that up and bring that forward. So I can bring that forward just by using the column at the side here. And I want to flip this around, so I'm going to change the position. We're going to flip that, and I'm going to kind of like just add that little arrow in there to kind of like make it kind of like a little bit more obvious. And one of the things that I want to show you, the next feature or the next free feature that I like inside of Adobe Express, is the font recommendations. So we're going to click on this text here, and you can see here we've got our font recommendations, and we can click view all, and it's going to give us a live preview of those font recommendations. And this is a free feature inside of Adobe Express, and I find this really helpful because I used to spend hours kind of like looking for new fonts and fonts that I would like to add onto a design, and these update depending on what your kind of like design looks like. So if I switch over to another design, you can see here this design is one where, you know, it's got these like different image, and we're talking about Hong Kong, and it's going to give you different looking kind of like fonts and things like that. If we switch over to Europe again, if I click on the font and click on the font recommendations, you can see here now it's got different fonts that are going to be more suited to kind of like the image and things like that. I really like this font recommendation feature. I used to spend so long kind of like getting lost in looking for fonts. Now our post is really starting to come together, and I'm really liking the way this is looking. We've added a little bit of a drop shadow to these, but I need to now kind of like start thinking about scheduling this and writing a caption. And that again is something that's free inside of Adobe Express. We're just going to come over to the content scheduler, and in here, if you just click on the side and you click schedule, you're going to be presented with this page here. And at the top here, you can see, if you don't see this, you can actually just kind of like drop that down, we've got this generate social media captions. So I've just put in here 23 features in Adobe Express, including safe zones, font recommendations, and Caption Writer. And we're going to click create new and then click generate. And now it's going to come back with 3 different recommendations that we can use inside of our captions. We can choose to kind of like just copy these and then paste those in if we're using a different platform, or we can come in and we can even choose to edit these. So we can come in, unlock 23 features. Did you know that? So, you know, we've got things in here. We might not want to include like the emoji. We can click return. It's even come up with some hashtag recommendations, but I normally kind of just come up with my own hashtags. So I can just click those, click save changes. And now from here, I can then go in and click create a post. Now, so far we've covered off the safe zones, the caption writer, and also the font recommendations. But let's dive in and let me show you a little bit more of the content scheduler. And this is free inside of Adobe Express, or it's under the free plan. We can just click on add a new post. And then from here, we can just on the right hand side, choose our design. And so far we've not, you know, I've not finished this, but I'm going to go through this and show you how we do this. We can actually, if we didn't want all of these pages, we can untick them here. So say there was a page in your design you didn't want to have, you can just untick them. If you wanted to unselect all 3, you can do that, or select all. We're going to select upload. Now, whilst those are uploading, we're going to then select the social media or the content channels that we want to actually schedule this to. For this demo, I'm just going to select on Instagram. And you can add more connections if you wanted to. And this is a post. You can see if we select this as a reel, it's going to say that this is in the wrong format. And that just means you're going to have to go and create the correct format. But in this instance, we are creating a post. And then again, we've got the caption writer here. Now, because we've actually uploaded our designs here, we don't actually have to add anything in there. We can just click generate new caption, and it's going to go away, read those images that we've actually added into here, and it's going to come up with a caption for us. And you can see here, I've not written anything in there. It's come up with an idea. Unlock creativity with Adobe Express. Discover over 20 plus free features that make design easier. And I can still come in here. I can insert this into my caption here, and I can still come in then and edit. So I can remove the emojis, check that the actual data in there is correct. If we want to, we can actually add in there a first comment. We can actually at somebody in the first comment. So if I wanted to, you know, wanted to tag somebody in this, I could do. And then we can come in and either schedule or publish this, or save it as a draft and come back to this later. Now, if you are wanting to kind of rearrange and reorder these, you can just drag these around also as well to put those in the right order. And then you can also choose to preview this. And then after a few moments, we can see there exactly what this is going to look like inside of Instagram. We can even click through and check what this is going to look like. Now, that's creating a post, but also inside of Adobe Express, there's a really neat feature if you're editing and uploading your reels from inside of Adobe Express. I've come over, I've uploaded this video here. I've chosen Instagram, I've selected reel. And now on here, I can actually edit the reel cover. I can either select a frame from the video itself, or I can add a custom cover. And that's going to then allow me to then select and browse and select the custom cover that I've already created inside of Adobe Express, and then add that to this and schedule that to go directly to my Instagram. Now, I have a couple of other features that I want to kind of let you know about as well inside of Adobe Express that are free. We've got the background remove tool. Other platforms hide this behind a paywall, but inside of Adobe Express, one click, boom, your background's removed. Next, we've got text effects. Pick any font and apply your text. You can even create your own font text effects. And I did this in a video recently, and I'll link that up here for you if you want to check that out. Also, in a recent video, I talked about Clipmaker. This is another free feature where you can upload one full-length video or one video. It has to be, I think, over a minute long and under 1 gigabyte. Again, I'll link that up here for you, but you can then take that long form video and split that up into multiple clips. And then the next option inside of Adobe Express that I like is that we've got this Animate All, and you can just click that once and it's going to choose to kind of like add animations to that design and add all of those on there. And that's just one click, Animate All, and you're done. Now, Adobe Express has 20 plus free features for you to try out. And if you sign up to an Adobe Teams account right now, it's only $49.99 and it's free for students. Such a reliable platform to use. Give it a go yourself and let me know which is your favorite feature.